Starting off with our paper, we're going to make sure our paper is turned portrait, tall like a building. Finding the bottom right corner, we're going to write our name. In pencil, write your first name only and make sure it's large enough so that we can see. Now we're going to find a space in the bottom area of our artwork where we're going to place our subject, which is our winter animal. Now your winter animal can be a fox or a wolf. I'm going to first show you how to draw the body of our winter animals, and then you can change it depending on if you want to draw a fox or a wolf. So the main body for our winter animals is we're going to start off with the head, and we're going to use an upside down triangle. So we're going to be using shapes to draw our winter animals, and I'm going to choose to draw my subject near the right side. Remember, you can choose it to draw in the middle or on the left. I'm going to choose the right side of my artwork. So starting off with an upside down triangle, and remember, when you're drawing in pencil, try to draw light till you get it right. That way it's easier for you to erase if you have to erase anything. Now that I have my upside down triangle, and you can see that I've rounded out some of the edges for the head of my winter animal, I'm going to move a little bit lower and I'm going to draw a U, the letter U, kind of a wide U. And this is going to be the bottom portion of our animal. Now you're going to take the ends of your U and connect it kind of with an arched line back to the head. And then we're going to create another arched line for your animal's tail. Now both our winter animals have pointy ears, so we're going to give it some triangles for the ears. And for the feet, we're going to draw two vertical lines that are parallel to each other, and another set of parallel vertical lines. And these are going to be the legs. I'm going to connect them with an oval, and these are going to be our animal's feet. I'm actually going to connect the top as well. And here is the main body of your winter animal. Now, if you are drawing a fox, you're going to want to use some different details to make it look like a fox. For example, I'm going to start off with the nose at the bottom of my upside down triangle. I'm going to create a arched line, kind of like a backward C. And these are going to be where my fox's eyes are. Now, sometimes foxes have white belly, so I'm going to draw another semicircle near the feet and the bottom of his belly. And they always have this curved detail on their tail, and it's like the white tip of their tail. Now, if you are choosing to do a wolf, you're going to use that same body, and we are going to start off with the nose, similar to the fox. It's at the bottom of our upside down triangle. And for the eyes, they're going to be a little bit higher up. We're going to start with a arched line, a curved line, and it's almost going to look like the shape of a football. And if you notice, I'm repeating on the opposite side because it is symmetrical for our wolf's face. And then I'm going to draw an oval for the eyeballs of our wolf. And usually on their body, or the front of their body, they have a patch of white fur. I'm kind of drawing a curved, wavy line for my wolf. The next step is to outline everything in pencil with a black marker. You want to avoid coloring in today with your black marker. You just want to outline. A little tip when you're outlining is when you're using your marker, if you hold your marker up tall, you're going to get a very thin line. If you hold it sideways, you're going to get a very thick line, and we call that line weight. So make sure you're controlling and being mindful how you're using your marker. Depending on how you hold it is the type of line you are going to get, thick or thin. Go ahead and also outline your name in a black marker. And because I'm now finished with my black marker, I'm going to put it back in my bucket, cap side up, and let's go ahead and fix this marker as well. And if you see any pencil that you did not get to outline, go ahead and erase that with our big eraser so that we no longer see some of our sketching. Now because my fox is orange, I'm going to be using an orange marker, and some of my areas of my fox is actually white, so I'm going to use the white of the paper. So that means I'm going to leave it uncolored to show the color of my fox. Now when you are using marker to color, make sure you're choosing one direction to color in, being mindful, using craftsmanship, and I'm choosing to color up and down. Maybe you will decide to color side to side. Find the direction that is easiest for you and make sure you're coloring in mindful. I like to hold my marker to the side so that I get a thicker line when I'm coloring, because if I color with the tip, that's going to take a lot longer. So make sure you turn it to the belly of our marker and you'll get a nice thick line to color in your winter animal. I went back in with my black marker and colored in my legs, my nose, and my eyes of my fox. In the next step of our winter animal artwork, we're going to create a background for our winter animal. And before you begin painting, kind of figure out where you want your really tall birch trees. I kind of like to draw or air paint with my finger first before I start painting. So with your finger, kind of begin to pretend to paint where you would want your birch trees. I know I want a really long birch tree towards my left, and I want another long one right here towards the center. And I think I want some shorter birch trees towards the right, because I know that my subject is over here, so I can't fit a really long one over here. When you are ready to begin painting, make sure you have a messy mat ready. And because we're going to be painting near the top of our painting, I'm going to place my messy mat towards the top so that when my paintbrush goes off of the paper, it goes on my messy mat and not on my table. Dipping the tippy toes of your brush into our black paint, you're going to want to hold your brush pretty tall like a ballerina today. If you hold it kind of sideways, you're going to get a very thick line. So I'm going to use the tippy toes, and when I paint the outline of my tree, you'll notice I'm not painting in a straight line. It's kind of a wavy line because trees don't grow perfectly straight. They have curves in the tree. You can paint long trees, you can paint medium length trees. It's up to you on what you want to paint. If you see that the paint is not gliding across your paper anymore, that means you need more paint on your brush. Most of the paint is a very rich black. It's okay if it's not a true black because that gives it some texture in our birch tree. I forgot one step. Before you put your paintbrush away, take a little bit more black paint and paint in near the top of your artwork. This is going to be your horizon or your ground line. And we're going to kind of hop over some of the spaces because you don't want to paint straight across, but in between the spaces of your trees, paint kind of a curvy or a straight line, and that's going to be your horizon line. When you are finished, there is a bucket in the sink by the yellow table, and you're going to put your dirty paintbrush into the bucket with the paint side in the water so that it can start to soak. After you've painted all the outlines of your trees, you're going to use a popsicle stick, and using the edge of our popsicle stick, you're going to dip it, kind of slide it around into the paint, into the black paint, not too much. And inside the space of the birch tree, you're going to slide your popsicle stick. Now you can slide it to the left like I just did. You can slide your popsicle stick to the opposite direction, and it gives you a texture of our birch trees. And you're going to repeat this step for all of the birch trees that you painted.